The truth about your person may surprise you. My beloved child, don't skip this message. Listen carefully, because today's story is not about certainty, it is about understanding. Sometimes the greatest surprises in life are not hidden in dramatic moments but in quiet realizations that slowly change the way we see someone we care about. There may be things about your person that you have never noticed before, not because they were trying to deceive you, but because every heart carries thoughts and emotions that are not always easy to express. Stay until the end, because the truth you discover may completely change your perspective. Have you ever wondered why people sometimes say one thing while feeling something entirely different inside? Human hearts are complicated. Fear can sound like distance. Uncertainty can appear as silence. A person who deeply cares may still struggle to express what they feel because past disappointments, unanswered questions, or personal challenges have taught them to hide behind careful words. This does not mean every silent person secretly feels the same way. It simply reminds us that appearances rarely tell the whole story. Listen carefully, my beloved child. One of the biggest mistakes we make is believing we fully understand another person's heart without ever hearing their complete story. We notice their actions, we remember their words, and we try to connect every detail into a single conclusion. Yet every person carries experiences that shape how they respond to love, trust, and vulnerability. Sometimes what seems like hesitation is actually fear of being hurt. Sometimes what appears to be confidence is quietly covering insecurity. Perhaps your person is facing questions they have not yet answered within themselves. Perhaps they are learning lessons about patience, honesty, and commitment in ways that no one else can see. Or perhaps this message is simply inviting you to remember that every relationship benefits when we replace assumptions with open communication. Whatever the reason, understanding grows when people are willing to listen with compassion instead of rushing to conclusions. Stay until the end, because this changes everything. Imagine reading only one page from a long novel and believing you already know how the story ends. That would never reveal the whole picture. In the same way, one conversation, one misunderstanding, or one difficult season rarely tells the entire story of a relationship. Hearts continue to grow. Perspectives continue to change. New chapters continue to be written. My beloved child, there is another truth you need to hear. Sometimes we place another person on a pedestal, expecting them to have every answer. Other times we judge them too quickly because they disappoint us once. Neither approach reflects reality. Every person is imperfect. Every person is learning. Every person carries strengths alongside weaknesses. Healthy relationships are built when two people recognize each other's humanity and choose respect over unrealistic expectations. There are moments when silence becomes louder than words. A person may withdraw not because they no longer care, but because they are overwhelmed by responsibilities, uncertainty, or emotions they have not yet learned to express. That does not automatically mean the relationship will succeed or fail. It simply reminds us that human behavior often has many possible explanations, and thoughtful conversation is usually more helpful than assumptions. Listen carefully, because this may become one of the most valuable lessons in your journey. The truth about your person may not be that they are perfect or deeply flawed. The truth may simply be that they are human. They have dreams that encourage them, fears that challenge them, memories that shape them, and hopes they may not always know how to share. When we remember this, our hearts become more patient, our conversations become kinder, and our expectations become healthier. Imagine two travelers walking toward the same mountain from different directions. Each one sees a completely different view of the landscape. Neither perspective is entirely wrong, but neither one reveals the whole mountain. Relationships often work the same way. Your experiences are real. Their experiences are also real. Understanding begins when both people become willing to see beyond their own point of view. Perhaps the greatest surprise is not something about your person at all. Perhaps it is something about you. Perhaps you are discovering how much stronger you have become. Perhaps you are learning to communicate with greater honesty. Perhaps you are finally recognizing the importance of protecting your peace while still remaining open to meaningful connection. These discoveries are just as valuable as anything you may learn about someone else. My beloved child, never allow unanswered questions to become greater than your inner peace. If a relationship is meant to grow, it will require honesty, mutual respect, patience, and clear communication from both people. No lasting connection can be built upon constant guessing. Real understanding is created through trust, thoughtful conversations, and a willingness to learn from one another over time. One day, you may look back on this season and realize that the truth you were searching for was never hidden in dramatic secrets. It was found in small moments of understanding. It was found in choosing compassion instead of assumptions. It was found in recognizing that every meaningful relationship is a journey of learning rather than a destination of perfection. So keep moving forward, my beloved child. Continue growing in wisdom. Continue protecting your heart without closing it. Continue speaking with honesty and listening with kindness. Whatever the next chapter of your story may hold, let it be guided by truth rather than fear, by understanding rather than misunderstanding, and by hope rather than doubt. And remember this before this chapter ends: the most beautiful relationships are not the ones where two people know everything about each other from the beginning. They are the ones where both hearts remain willing to keep learning, keep listening, keep forgiving, and keep growing together. Sometimes the greatest surprise is not discovering someone else's truth. It is discovering how much love, patience, and wisdom can grow within your own heart when you choose understanding over assumption. My beloved child, if you are still listening, then your heart may already be sensing that the truth is often much gentler than the stories fear creates. We have a tendency to fill empty spaces with assumptions. When someone becomes quiet, we imagine the worst. When their actions change, we immediately search for hidden meanings. Yet many of life's greatest misunderstandings begin not with dishonesty, but with silence that was never explained. Stay until the end, because the next part of this journey may help you see your person, and yourself, in a completely different light. Listen carefully. Every person carries an invisible world within them. There are dreams they have never spoken aloud, worries they hide behind a smile, and memories that quietly influence the way they respond to love. Some people learn from an early age to guard their emotions because they feared rejection. Others became experts at pretending everything was fine while silently carrying burdens no one else could see. These hidden struggles do not excuse hurtful behavior, but they remind us that every heart has a story that deserves understanding before judgment. Perhaps your person has been fighting battles that were never meant for public view. They may have been trying to balance responsibilities, overcome disappointment, or simply understand their own emotions. From the outside, it may have looked like distance. Inside, it may have felt like confusion. The important lesson is not to assume what another person is feeling, but to recognize that appearances rarely reveal the complete picture. Stay until the end, because this changes everything. Sometimes the greatest truth about your person is not that they have all the answers. It is that they are still learning, just as you are. They are learning how to trust. Learning how to communicate. Learning how to let go of old fears. Learning how to become the person they hope to be. Growth is rarely perfect, and it almost never follows a straight path. My beloved child, there is another truth that deserves your attention. The way someone treats you consistently matters far more than the promises they make during emotional moments. Beautiful words can inspire hope, but lasting relationships are built through daily actions. Kindness shown repeatedly speaks louder than grand declarations made only once. Respect demonstrated over time is stronger than temporary excitement. Let your heart learn to value consistency, because consistency is one of the clearest signs of genuine care. Imagine watching the changing seasons. Spring does not become summer in a single day. Autumn does not suddenly become winter overnight. Every season changes gradually, almost so quietly that you hardly notice until the landscape looks completely different. Hearts change in much the same way. Trust grows little by little. Healing arrives one step at a time. Understanding develops through countless conversations, shared experiences, and moments of patience. Listen carefully, because there is something your heart must never forget. You cannot carry another person's emotional journey for them. You can offer kindness. You can offer honesty. You can offer understanding. But every individual must choose their own path toward growth. Real love supports another person's journey without trying to control it. It encourages without forcing. It listens without demanding. It remains truthful without losing compassion. Perhaps your person has begun to realize something they overlooked before. Perhaps they are beginning to understand the value of genuine connection, honest communication, or mutual respect. Or perhaps this message is simply encouraging you to remain open to the possibility that people can grow over time. Whatever tomorrow brings, allow it to unfold naturally rather than forcing it into the shape you expected. My beloved child, do not let uncertainty rob you of today's peace. The future will arrive in its own time. Questions that seem impossible today may eventually find gentle answers. Conversations that feel difficult now may one day become opportunities for deeper understanding. Until then, continue living with integrity. Continue becoming the kind of person whose heart is guided by wisdom instead of fear. One day you may discover that the greatest surprise was never about your person at all. It was about the transformation that quietly took place within you. You became more patient without becoming passive. More compassionate without losing your boundaries. More hopeful without ignoring reality. Those changes are priceless, because they prepare you for healthier relationships in every area of your life. So continue your journey with confidence, my beloved child. Let truth guide your thoughts, let kindness shape your words, and let wisdom protect your heart. Whatever chapter awaits you next, face it with courage instead of worry. Some answers take time to appear, but the lessons you learn while waiting often become the greatest treasures of all. And remember this before we continue to the next chapter: the truth about your person may indeed surprise you, but the truth about your own strength may surprise you even more. Every challenge has been shaping a heart that is capable of loving with honesty, listening with compassion, and choosing peace over fear. That quiet transformation is one of the most beautiful stories you will ever live, and the best pages are still waiting to be written. My beloved child, there is another truth that your heart is ready to receive, and it may be different from what you expected. We often spend so much time trying to understand another person that we forget to notice how our own hearts are changing through the journey. Every conversation, every unanswered question, every moment of waiting has been teaching you something valuable. Even when the lessons felt difficult, they were quietly shaping a wiser and more compassionate version of you. Listen carefully, because this part of the story deserves your full attention. Sometimes we believe the truth will arrive through one dramatic conversation that explains everything. We imagine a single moment where every misunderstanding disappears and every question finally has an answer. But life rarely unfolds that way. The deepest truths often reveal themselves little by little, through consistent actions, honest conversations, and the quiet passage of time. What once seemed confusing gradually begins to make sense, not because everything changed overnight, but because your perspective became clearer. Perhaps your person has been carrying expectations they never shared. They may have wanted everything to be perfect before expressing how they truly felt. They may have believed they needed to solve every problem before opening their heart. Or perhaps they simply struggled to find the right words at the right time. Whatever their journey may be, remember this: every person has their own pace of growth, and understanding someone requires patience as well as honesty. Stay until the end, because this changes everything. The strongest relationships are not built by two perfect people who never make mistakes. They are built by two imperfect people who are willing to learn, apologize when necessary, listen carefully, and continue choosing respect even when life becomes complicated. Perfection is impossible, but sincere effort has the power to transform even the most ordinary moments into something meaningful. My beloved child, there is a quiet strength in choosing curiosity instead of assumptions. Instead of asking, "Why did they do this to me?" sometimes a healthier question is, "What might I not understand about this situation yet?" That question does not excuse harmful behavior, nor does it mean you should ignore your own feelings. It simply creates room for wisdom before reaching conclusions. Many misunderstandings disappear when people are willing to speak honestly and listen without immediately becoming defensive. Imagine two musicians trying to perform the same song without listening to one another. Each may be talented, yet the melody becomes confused because they are playing only according to their own rhythm. Relationships are much the same. Communication is the music that allows two hearts to move together. Without listening, even good intentions can become lost. With patience and understanding, even difficult conversations can become the beginning of healing. Listen carefully, because your heart must never forget this lesson. Love is not measured by how intensely someone feels during a single moment. It is measured by the choices both people continue making when excitement fades and ordinary life begins. Respect during disagreement, kindness during stressful seasons, honesty when the truth feels difficult. These are the quiet foundations upon which lasting relationships are built. Perhaps the greatest surprise about your person is that they are still becoming who they hope to be. Just as you have grown through every challenge, they too may be learning lessons that cannot be rushed. Whether your paths continue together or eventually move in different directions, every meaningful experience has the ability to leave both people wiser than they were before. That wisdom becomes part of every future chapter you write. My beloved child, never lose yourself while trying to understand someone else. Compassion is beautiful, but so are healthy boundaries. Patience is admirable, but so is self-respect. Forgiveness can bring freedom, but it should never require you to ignore repeated patterns that steal your peace. Love grows strongest when both hearts are willing to care for one another while also taking responsibility for their own choices. One day you may look back and realize that the truth you were searching for was never hidden behind mystery. It was quietly present in everyday moments, the conversations that revealed character, the actions that built trust, the challenges that strengthened resilience, and the choices that demonstrated genuine care. Those simple moments often reveal more than dramatic promises ever could. So continue walking with confidence, my beloved child. Let your heart remain open, but let your wisdom remain awake. Continue speaking with honesty, listening with compassion, and protecting the peace you have worked so hard to build. Whatever tomorrow holds, meet it with courage instead of fear, because every new day brings another opportunity to grow in understanding. And remember this before we turn another page together. The truth about your person may indeed surprise you, but the greatest discovery is often the truth that grows within your own heart. When you choose patience without losing discernment, kindness without losing strength, and hope without abandoning wisdom, you become ready for relationships built on trust, respect, and genuine love. That is the kind of story worth waiting for, and my beloved child, your journey is still unfolding in ways more beautiful than you can yet imagine. My beloved child, as we continue this journey together, let your heart become still for a moment. There is something beautiful about reaching the place where you no longer seek quick answers but lasting wisdom. The truth about another person is rarely discovered in a single conversation or a single moment. It is revealed over time, through character, consistency, and the quiet choices they make when no one is asking them to prove themselves. That is why patience remains one of the greatest gifts you can carry into any relationship. Listen carefully, because this chapter may reveal something your heart has been searching for without even knowing it. There are people who speak beautifully but struggle to live out their promises. There are others who speak very little, yet their actions quietly express kindness, loyalty, and respect every single day. It is easy to become captivated by impressive words, but lasting trust is built by consistent actions. Over time, actions become the clearest reflection of a person's heart. Perhaps there have been moments when your person's behavior seemed difficult to understand. One day they appeared confident, and the next they seemed uncertain. One conversation brought hope, while another created confusion. Human emotions often move through seasons, just as nature does. Some days are bright and full of clarity. Other days are clouded by stress, fear, or personal struggles. Recognizing this does not mean accepting unhealthy behavior. It simply reminds us that every person experiences moments when they are still learning how to respond with wisdom instead of emotion. Stay until the end, because this changes everything. The greatest surprise about your person may not be hidden in something they say. It may be revealed in the quiet ways they continue growing. Growth is often invisible while it is happening. Just as a tree slowly develops stronger roots beneath the earth before its branches reach higher into the sky, people often become wiser long before others notice the change. Real transformation is rarely loud. It happens one thoughtful decision at a time. My beloved child, there is another lesson that deserves your attention. Sometimes we expect another person to understand our heart without ever explaining what we truly feel. We hope they will notice our silence, interpret our expressions, and somehow know exactly what we need. Yet healthy relationships cannot survive on guessing. They grow through honesty. They become stronger through respectful conversations. They flourish when both people are willing to speak with kindness and listen without interrupting. Imagine two travelers crossing a bridge from opposite sides. If each one stops halfway and refuses to move another step, neither will reach the other. But if both continue walking with patience and understanding, they eventually meet in the middle. Relationships often require that same willingness. Understanding is created when both hearts move toward one another with humility rather than expecting the other person to carry the entire journey alone. Listen carefully, because your heart must remember this truth. Not every unanswered question requires immediate resolution. Some answers reveal themselves naturally as trust grows. Some concerns disappear once honest conversations take place. Others remind us that certain relationships are not meant to continue forever. Whatever the outcome, every experience has the power to teach wisdom if you are willing to learn from it. Perhaps your person is beginning to recognize qualities within you that they once overlooked. They may see your patience differently now. They may appreciate your kindness in ways they never understood before. Or perhaps this message is simply encouraging you to continue becoming the best version of yourself without waiting for someone else's approval. Either way, your growth remains valuable because it belongs to you, not because someone else notices it. My beloved child, never allow uncertainty to convince you that your future has been decided. Life has an extraordinary way of opening new doors when we least expect them. Some relationships become stronger through honest effort. Others gently come to an end so that healthier chapters can begin. Whatever path lies ahead, trust that every experience can become a source of wisdom when your heart remains open to learning. There will come a time when you no longer feel the need to analyze every small detail or search for hidden meanings in every conversation. Instead, you will recognize the quiet peace that comes from accepting what is true rather than chasing what is uncertain. That peace is one of the greatest gifts you can receive, because it allows love to grow naturally instead of being controlled by fear. My beloved child, continue protecting your kindness, but never forget to protect your peace as well. Continue offering compassion, but remember that healthy relationships require mutual effort. Continue believing in the beauty of genuine connection, but never lose sight of your own value while waiting for someone else to recognize it. The strongest love is never built through pressure. It grows where honesty, patience, respect, and trust are allowed to flourish together. As this chapter draws to a close, remember one final truth. The greatest surprise about your person may not be found in a hidden secret or a dramatic revelation. It may simply be discovering that both of you have been growing in ways neither of you could fully see. Life has been teaching lessons, shaping character, and preparing hearts one day at a time. Whether your journeys continue side by side or eventually follow different paths, let every lesson deepen your wisdom rather than diminish your hope. So walk forward with confidence, my beloved child. Keep your heart gentle, your mind clear, and your spirit peaceful. Let truth guide your decisions, let kindness shape your relationships, and let wisdom remain your closest companion. The story is still unfolding, and the chapters ahead hold opportunities for understanding, healing, and genuine connection that are more meaningful than anything built upon fear or uncertainty. Continue your journey with hope, because the most beautiful discoveries are often found not in dramatic moments, but in the quiet transformation of two hearts learning to grow. My beloved child, there is one more layer of this journey that your heart is ready to discover. The truth about your person is not hidden in perfect moments or dramatic confessions. It is often revealed in the ordinary days that most people overlook. Watch how they treat others when there is nothing to gain. Notice whether their kindness remains the same when life becomes difficult. Pay attention to whether their actions continue to match their words. Character is not built during celebrations alone. It is revealed most clearly during seasons of challenge. Listen carefully, because this chapter carries a lesson that could change the way you look at every relationship. Many people spend their lives searching for signs while overlooking the evidence that is already before them. They wait for extraordinary moments, believing those moments will reveal everything they need to know. Yet truth usually arrives quietly. It is found in consistency. It is found in respect. It is found in the small promises someone keeps when no one else is watching. These quiet choices often tell a greater story than any grand declaration ever could. Perhaps your person has surprised even themselves during this season. There are times when life places us in situations that reveal strengths we never realized we possessed. A difficult conversation may teach humility. A painful disappointment may awaken compassion. A season of uncertainty may strengthen patience. Growth has a remarkable way of transforming people from the inside out, often without them noticing until they look back and see how far they have come. Stay until the end, because what you are about to hear may become one of the most valuable truths you carry with you. Every meaningful relationship eventually reaches a moment where appearances no longer matter. Masks begin to fall away. Pretending becomes exhausting. What remains is the person's true character. That moment is not something to fear. It is an opportunity to discover whether the relationship is built upon honesty, mutual respect, and genuine care or simply upon temporary emotion. My beloved child, never confuse intensity with sincerity. Some emotions burn brightly for a short time and disappear just as quickly. Genuine love grows differently. It develops through trust earned over time. It becomes stronger through shared experiences, honest conversations, and mutual understanding. It is not rushed, and it is not forced. Like a strong tree growing year after year, its roots deepen quietly before its branches reach toward the sky. Imagine a potter shaping clay on a wheel. At first, the clay appears soft and uncertain. With patience, careful hands, and steady attention, it slowly becomes something beautiful and useful. Relationships are much the same. They require time, understanding, and the willingness to grow through imperfections. No masterpiece is created in a single moment, and neither is lasting trust. Listen carefully, because there is another truth your heart must never forget. Sometimes the greatest surprise about your person is not who they become. It is how they encourage you to become a better version of yourself. Healthy relationships inspire growth. They encourage honesty instead of fear. They create room for both people to pursue their dreams while supporting one another with kindness and respect. If a relationship consistently helps both hearts grow in wisdom and compassion, it is already teaching something valuable. Perhaps there will come a day when conversations that once felt impossible become natural. Perhaps misunderstandings will give way to clarity, or perhaps both of you will simply recognize how much you have learned through the journey. Whatever happens, welcome those moments with gratitude rather than expectation. Life often brings understanding when we stop demanding immediate answers and begin appreciating steady progress. My beloved child, your peace should never depend upon another person's ability to understand you completely. Some people will see only one chapter of your story. Others will witness your entire journey. Either way, remain faithful to your values. Continue choosing honesty even when it feels difficult. Continue choosing kindness even when the world encourages bitterness. Those decisions will always guide you toward healthier relationships, regardless of where the road leads. One day you may realize that the truth you were searching for was never hidden in mysterious signs or unanswered questions. It was quietly reflected in everyday moments, in shared laughter, sincere apologies, thoughtful actions, patient listening, and the courage to remain truthful even when honesty felt uncomfortable. Those ordinary moments become the extraordinary foundation of every meaningful relationship. So continue walking with confidence, my beloved child. Let your heart remain hopeful, but let your wisdom remain awake. Do not fear what tomorrow may reveal. Instead, welcome each new day as another opportunity to grow, to learn, and to love with greater understanding than before. Every experience is preparing you for the chapters that still lie ahead. And remember this before we continue our journey together: the truth about your person may indeed surprise you, but the most beautiful surprise of all is discovering that love reaches its fullest expression when two hearts choose truth over illusion, patience over pressure, forgiveness over resentment, and hope over fear. Keep your spirit gentle, your character strong, and your faith in tomorrow alive. Your story is still unfolding, my beloved child, and the greatest lessons are often found in the quiet moments that change everything without making a sound. My beloved child, as we continue this journey together, allow your heart to become quiet for just a moment. There is something your soul has been trying to understand, and the answer has never been as far away as you imagined. The truth about your person is not hidden behind impossible mysteries. It is unfolding through every choice they make, every lesson they learn, and every step they take toward becoming a better version of themselves. Sometimes the heart recognizes change long before the eyes can see it. Listen carefully, because this chapter may become one of the most meaningful parts of your story. There are moments when life places two people on separate paths, not to keep them apart forever, but to give each of them the opportunity to grow in ways that would never have been possible if everything had remained comfortable. Distance, change, and uncertainty often become powerful teachers. They reveal what truly matters, what needs healing, and what deserves to be carried into the future. Perhaps your person has been reflecting more deeply than you realize. Perhaps they have looked back on conversations they once rushed through and now understand them differently. Perhaps they remember acts of kindness they once overlooked or moments when silence spoke louder than words. Time has a remarkable way of giving people new perspectives. The lessons that seemed invisible yesterday often become impossible to ignore tomorrow. Stay until the end, because what you are about to hear has the power to transform your perspective. One of the greatest surprises in any relationship is discovering that people are capable of change when they genuinely desire to grow. Growth cannot be forced. It cannot be demanded. It cannot happen simply because someone else wishes for it. Real change begins inside the heart, one honest decision at a time, until those decisions slowly become a new way of living. My beloved child, there is another truth you must carry with you. Never become so focused on another person's journey that you forget your own. While you wonder what they are learning, ask yourself what this season has taught you. Have you become more patient? Have you learned to communicate more honestly? Have you discovered the importance of healthy boundaries and mutual respect? These lessons are treasures that will remain with you no matter what tomorrow brings. Imagine a book whose final chapter has not yet been written. If someone judged the entire story after reading only the middle pages, they would miss the ending completely. Life often feels that way. We become discouraged because we cannot yet see how everything fits together. Yet every chapter has a purpose. Every challenge adds depth to the story. Every season prepares the reader for the pages that still remain. Listen carefully, because this changes everything. The greatest truth about your person may not be something dramatic at all. It may simply be that they are learning, just as you are learning. They are discovering the value of honesty, the importance of trust, and the strength that comes from treating others with kindness and respect. Whether those lessons bring your paths closer together or simply help each of you grow individually, they are still valuable. Growth is never wasted. There will come a day when uncertainty no longer controls your thoughts. Instead of wondering what someone else is thinking every moment, you will find peace in knowing that your own heart has remained faithful to truth. You will understand that your happiness was never meant to depend entirely upon another person's decisions. It was always meant to grow from the character you build, the wisdom you gain, and the love you continue to share with the world. My beloved child, continue becoming someone who speaks with honesty, listens with compassion, and forgives without forgetting the lessons that life has taught. Continue protecting your peace while remaining open to meaningful relationships. Continue believing that every season, even the difficult ones, carries wisdom that will one day make perfect sense. Your journey has not been delayed. It has been developing. Perhaps the greatest surprise is waiting in the quiet future you cannot yet see. A conversation that brings clarity. A lesson that changes everything. A moment when both hearts recognize how much they have grown through time and experience. Whether that moment arrives soon or much later, let it find you living with courage instead of fear, hope instead of doubt, and gratitude instead of regret. So keep walking forward, my beloved child. Lift your head with confidence. Let every sunrise remind you that beautiful possibilities still exist. Let every challenge strengthen your spirit instead of discouraging it. Let every act of kindness become another light in your journey. And above all, remember this: the truth about your person is only one part of the story. The greater truth is the remarkable person you are becoming through every lesson, every season, and every step of faith. Your story is still unfolding, and the chapters ahead may hold more peace, more wisdom, and more genuine love than you ever thought possible. The truth that changes everything ****. My beloved child, if you have remained with this message until this final chapter, then thank you for opening your heart to this journey. We have walked through questions, uncertainty, hope, and reflection together. And now, as we reach the end, there is one final truth that deserves to be remembered above all else. The greatest discoveries in life are rarely the ones we expect. They often arrive quietly, changing our hearts before they ever change our circumstances. Listen carefully, because these final words may stay with you long after this message ends. Throughout this journey, you searched for the truth about your person. You wondered what they were feeling, what they were learning, and what tomorrow might hold. But as each chapter unfolded, something beautiful happened. While you were searching for answers about someone else, your own heart was becoming stronger, wiser, and more peaceful. That quiet transformation is one of life's greatest miracles. Perhaps your person has grown in ways that neither of you fully recognized. Perhaps they have learned the value of honesty, patience, and genuine connection. Perhaps they are beginning to understand that trust is earned through consistent actions and not simply through beautiful words. Or perhaps this story has simply reminded you that every person is on their own journey of growth, learning, and self-discovery. Whatever the future holds, let it unfold naturally instead of trying to force every chapter before its time. My beloved child, never allow fear to become louder than hope. Fear will always try to convince you that the story is over before it has truly begun. It will whisper that nothing will ever change, that healing is impossible, and that tomorrow will simply repeat yesterday. But hope gently reminds you that every sunrise carries new possibilities. Every new conversation has the potential to build understanding. Every new day gives you another opportunity to choose kindness, wisdom, and courage. Imagine standing beside a peaceful river as the evening sun reflects across the water. The river never rushes toward the sea. It follows its path with quiet confidence, trusting that every turn has a purpose. Your life is much the same. There will be unexpected bends in the road. There will be moments when you cannot see what lies ahead. Yet every step has been shaping the person you were always meant to become. Trust the journey, even when you cannot yet understand every chapter. Stay with me for these final moments, because this changes everything. The truth about your person was never meant to become the center of your life. It was meant to remind you of something even more important, that love begins with truth, grows through trust, and flourishes where two hearts choose respect every single day. Lasting relationships are not built upon mystery. They are built upon honesty. They are not sustained by perfect circumstances but by imperfect people who continue choosing kindness, forgiveness, and understanding. My beloved child, if your paths are meant to continue together, let them be joined by mutual respect, open communication, and genuine care. If your journeys eventually lead in different directions, let gratitude remain in your heart for every lesson you learned along the way. No experience lived with sincerity is ever wasted. Every chapter has added wisdom to your story. Every challenge has strengthened your spirit. Every season has prepared you for the beautiful possibilities still waiting beyond the horizon. One day you will look back on this season with different eyes. The questions that once filled your heart will no longer trouble you. The uncertainty that once kept you awake will have given way to peace. You will realize that the greatest gift was never having every answer immediately. The greatest gift was becoming the kind of person who could face uncertainty without losing hope, disappointment without losing kindness, and change without losing faith in tomorrow. So lift your head, my beloved child, and walk confidently into the next chapter of your life. Do not let yesterday define tomorrow. Do not allow old fears to silence new dreams. Keep your heart open to genuine love, your mind open to wisdom, and your spirit open to growth. Continue becoming someone who brings light wherever they go, who chooses truth over illusion, patience over panic, and compassion over resentment. Remember this above everything else: your story is not measured by who stayed, who left, or who finally understood your worth. Your story is measured by the love you gave, the integrity you protected, the wisdom you gained, and the courage you showed when life asked you to keep moving forward. Those are the treasures that no disappointment can ever take away. Thank you, my beloved child, for sharing this journey from beginning to end. If these words touched your heart, write "truth" in the comments as a reminder that you are choosing honesty over fear, hope over doubt, and peace over confusion. Share this message with someone who may need encouragement today, and if you would like to continue growing together through stories like these, subscribe and become part of this community. Until we meet again, never forget this final truth: the greatest surprise was never hidden inside another person's heart. It was hidden inside your own. You discovered that you are stronger than fear, wiser than doubt, and more capable of love than you ever believed possible. Walk into your future with confidence, my beloved child, because your brightest days are not behind you, they are still waiting to welcome you. And when you finally reach them, you will understand that every twist, every lesson, and every unexpected moment was leading you exactly where you needed to be all along.